Hey, this is going to be commentary for the 31st chapter of my book, Metadimensional, which you can find on Kindle or listen to as an audiobook on Google Play, and links are in the description. So, chapter 31 is called Brains. So, as I already mentioned, and as you probably know, people that develop artificial intelligence, many of them believe that they're going to eventually build sentient machines. Like after we've passed the Turing test, the next step is to build sentient machines, at least to some. Now, I think that people who argue that or believe that, I think they are wrong, and I think they know they are wrong, but they're just not thinking about it. So what do I mean by that? So you want to say you want to build a sentient machine. Say that's your life mission, and you think you can do it by extending artificial intelligence in some way or something like that. Now, you want to build a sentient machine. You don't want to build, say, a blue machine. You know how to build a blue machine. You color it blue. You know how to build an intelligent machine. You use artificial intelligence. You want a sentient machine. So sentience, the way sentient manifests, is there's this experience thing, and everything exists in that experience. There's no collection of experiences happening at the same time, and like being felt by that sentient being. There's one. Everything that is that being is integrates into one thing. Like for you, like everything in the way your body feels, the way you feel about events, what you see, what you hear, all of it merges into one perspective, hyper perspective. That's just how it is. Everything has to merge. If it doesn't merge, then it's not sentience. It's simply not the same thing. Again, it can be blue, it can be intelligent, but it won't be sentient. So, if you think that you're gonna build an artificial intelligence that is sentient, then you'd have to somehow make sure that happens. But that's not how computers work. Computers work by you have transistors, you have registers, you have chips, you have currents, and they're all disjoint. There's no one place where they all exist. There's like a dynamic here, dynamic there. There's no like unifying thing. I mean, maybe you can say there's on the quantum level there is, but that's not how the computer works. Like the computer works using its processes, using its registers, all that stuff. That's what it does. If there's some kind of quantum entanglement happening within the entire computer, across the entire computer, that's not in the design and the architecture of computers, not computers that we use for artificial intelligence. So now, if you are going to build a sentient machine, then it have to be the case that intelligence somehow is sentient. But all this artificial intelligence we build its design is necessarily not integrating everything. Again, there's all these structures, data structures, and all that stuff. So if by some kind of miracle or ingenuity you build artificial intelligence that is sentient, it is not it cannot be through this or that kind of processing, because you need to merge everything that the computer does into one element. It doesn't matter how smart or clever you think that artificial intelligence is or that machine is. What you need to do is that its cleverness should merge into one element. And if that's what it's supposed to do, then that's what it's supposed to do. All these other things that the computer does computers do right now, that's not has nothing to do with that. That's uh, independent of that. So, in effect, when you're thinking about sentient machines, you are implicitly, like, you might not be aware, but because you think it's a machine, it's a physical machine, where all its inner workings are spread across in space, then whatever is experiential in it should be orthogonal to what they do, because they already do that, and there's no and there's no rationale that is binding all the elements. It's just not necessary for the function of artificial intelligence. So you have this other component that is somehow merging all the aspects of the computer together into this one element, and that's what that element does. And it has nothing to do with the algorithms that the other algorithms that the computer or the machine does, and it makes it sentient. But notice that it doesn't. Therefore, the computations don't produce sentience; they just facilitate sentience. Sentience isn't created by the computations, because it's not. That's not what they do. There's this other thing that makes it sentient, or somehow merges the component and creates like a unified perspective for there to be sentience. So now you can separate that component that merges everything from the artificial intelligence, and then you have and you can say, okay, all this artificial intelligence stuff we can put aside. The sentient stuff, that's a different component, orthogonal to the other. So that component is independent. It is causally, in a way, causally independent, because there's no. It will never be the case that an algorithm will do that, because had an algorithm done that, then it would have some kind of special separation, which means that this is not. Then it doesn't integrate into sentience. So in what way is this different from saying that experience is fundamental? It's just saying the same thing. It's saying that experience is fundamental. And now, if experience is fundamental, meaning it wasn't produced by this machine, and the only thing you can say is that, as far as you know, it's fundamental. Now, if you assume that experience is fundamental, then you get through the arguments that are already laid out, that experience already has an innate intelligence because of through the experiential scape. You can go back and to previous chapters. So you already have intelligence, therefore. So what is that computer doing? The artificial intelligence thing. What is it doing? You don't need it to be intelligent. The experiential component is already intelligent. So what you actually need is this component that is somehow connecting what the computer does, for whatever purposes, with what it feels like. So, and it's not to create intelligence, because the intelligence can come from the experience itself, most of it, a lot of it. And therefore you have like this thing, the thing, you have the intelligence already, you need to interface it with the body somehow, and you need this thing in the middle. And that thing in the middle, that's the brain. The brain is not an artificial intelligence machine. The brain is an interface. It's the thing that makes it compelling for experience to for the let's say algorithmic parts of the body to have something experiential about them.